throwaway because my wife knows my main and lurks Reddit sometimes. I never thought I'd be the guy posting here, but I feel like my chest is gonna cave in if I don't get this out somewhere. I'm 32M, my wife Emily is 28F. We've been married for 4 years, together for 7. No kids yet, though we've been talking about it seriously for the last year. Or at least I thought we were. From the outside, our life looks boring in a good way. Decent apartment in a quiet suburb, 2 cars, a dog named Milo who sheds like it's his full-time job. We both work normal 9 to 5s. I'm in IT project management. She's in marketing for a mid-sized company downtown. Date nights most Fridays, family dinners on Sundays. I genuinely believed we were solid. Not perfect, but stable, safe. That's why this feels like I stepped into an alternate reality. It started with something stupid, mundane. One of those moments you replay later and think, if I hadn't done that, would I still be happy right now? Emily asked me to grab her laptop charger from her work bag because her phone was dying and she needed to respond to a client email ASAP. She was already plugged into her laptop at the dining table, pacing while on Slack calls, clearly stressed. I told her to sit, I'd get it. Her bag was by the door, half-zipped, the smell of her citrusy perfume mixed with cold January air. I unzipped the front pocket, found the charger, and her phone buzzed. I know, I didn't mean to look, but the screen lit up right there in my hand. A text preview. Can't stop thinking about last night. Wish you were here instead. From a contact saved as J. No heart emojis, no context, just that. I stood there frozen. I remember the hum of the refrigerator behind me, the faint sound of traffic outside, the way my fingers went numb like I'd been outside without gloves. I told myself there was a logical explanation, a coworker, a dramatic friend, a joke taken out of context. But my gut dropped straight through the floor. I didn't open the message. I put the phone back exactly where it was, zipped the bag, and walked back to the dining table. Handed her the charger. She smiled at me, distracted, said, "You're the best," and kissed my cheek. I swear that kiss felt like a lie. That night, I barely slept. Every time she rolled over, I flinched. Every buzz from her phone made my heart spike. Around 3 a.m., she got up to use the bathroom, and I heard the faint click of the guest room door instead. She came back 10 minutes later. When I asked if everything was okay, she said, "Yeah, I just couldn't sleep." The next few days, I started noticing things I hadn't before, or maybe I just hadn't wanted to notice. She guards her phone now, screen always face down, takes it into the shower to play music. Changed her passcode last month. I noticed because I jokingly tried to unlock it to take a dumb selfie, and she snapped "don't" way sharper than necessary. Her schedule has shifted. Late meetings, networking drinks, campaign launches that somehow require her to be out until midnight on a Tuesday. She used to text me when she was heading home. Now it's radio silence until she walks in smelling like a bar I've never been to. Last night was the worst. We were sitting on the couch, Netflix paused, Milo asleep between us. I asked as casually as I could, "Hey, who's Jay?" She didn't look at me, just kept scrolling on her phone. "Jay?" she repeated. "Yeah, I saw a text pop up the other day when I grabbed your charger." Her thumb stopped moving, just for a second, but I saw it. "Oh," she said, laughing lightly, "just someone from work. Jason, he's on my team. Very dramatic texter." Something about that answer felt rehearsed, too smooth, like she'd practiced it. I asked, "What did he mean by last night?" That's when she finally looked at me, and her eyes were cold in a way I've never seen before. "You're reading my texts now?" she asked. I felt like I was on trial. My stomach twisted. I tried to explain I hadn't gone through her phone, that it was just a preview, that I wasn't accusing her of anything. She cut me off. "I don't have to justify my coworkers' messages to you. This is bordering on controlling." Controlling. That word hit harder than I expected. I shut up after that, apologized. She accepted it, but something shifted. She went to bed early, locked her phone before putting it on the nightstand. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, listening to the wind rattle the window, wondering how the person I trusted most suddenly feels like a stranger sharing my bed. I don't know if I'm overreacting. I don't know if I'm being gaslit. All I know is my gut is screaming, and I can't tell if that's paranoia or the sound of something breaking. Am I crazy for thinking my wife might be cheating? Or am I ignoring red flags because I'm terrified of what I'll find if I look closer? I don't know what my next move should be, and that scares me almost as much as the answer.
Time passed since last post. 6 days. First, thank you to everyone who commented, DM'd, and slapped some sense into me. I read everything, even the harsh stuff, especially the harsh stuff. I needed it. The last 6 days have been hell. Pure limbo. The kind where nothing technically happens, but every second feels stretched thin, like it might snap. I didn't confront her immediately after posting. A lot of you said not to go in half-cocked, and that stuck with me. So instead, I watched. I listened. I paid attention in a way I never had before. And once you start paying attention, it's hard to stop. Emily became a ghost in our own apartment. She'd leave early, come home late. When she was home, she was glued to her phone, always angled away from me. If I walked into a room, she'd lock it without even thinking. Muscle memory. Wednesday night, she said she had a team dinner. I asked where. Downtown, new place, she said, tying her hair in the mirror. She was wearing a dress I hadn't seen before. Black, tight. Not inappropriate, but not exactly Applebee's with coworkers either. Which place? I asked. She sighed, loudly. Why does it matter? It doesn't, I said quickly. Just curious. She named a restaurant. I nodded. But later, when she left, something nagged at me, so I checked the restaurant's website. Closed on Wednesdays. That was the first time I felt something in me go cold instead of hot, like the panic burned out and left clarity behind. The confrontation happened Friday night. It was raining hard, the kind that turns the streetlights into blurry halos. She came home around 11:30 p.m. I was sitting at the dining table, laptop closed, lights on, waiting. She stopped short when she saw me. "Why are you sitting like that?" she asked, dropping her purse. "We need to talk," I said. Her shoulders tensed immediately. "Can this wait? I'm exhausted." "No," I said. My voice surprised even me. Calm, flat. "It can't." She rolled her eyes and sat across from me, crossing her arms. Defensive posture. I'd seen it before during arguments, but this felt different, heavier. "What's going on?" she asked. I took a breath. "The restaurant you said you went to on Wednesday, it was closed." She blinked. Once. "What?" "It's closed on Wednesdays," I repeated. "So where were you actually?" There it was. The pause. Not confusion. Calculation. "I got the days mixed up," she said. "We went somewhere else last minute." "Where?" "Why are you interrogating me?" Her voice rose. "This is insane." "Because you lied," I said. My hands were shaking under the table now. "I'm done pretending I don't see it." She stood up. "You're being paranoid, ever since that stupid text." "Don't," I cut in. "Don't minimize it." She laughed, sharp and humorless. "You're really doing this?" "Yes," I said. "Who is Jay?" She stared at me. For a long time, the rain hammered against the windows. Milo whimpered from the couch. Finally, she said, "His name is Jake." My heart slammed into my ribs. "And?" I asked. "And he's a coworker," she said. "I already told you that." I pulled my phone out, my hand slick with sweat. "Then explain this." I slid the phone across the table. I'd taken a photo earlier that day when her phone lit up while she was in the shower. Another preview, another message I couldn't unsee. "I can still feel you. Last night was a mistake, or maybe it wasn't." She looked at the screen, her face drained of color. "Say it," I whispered. "Tell me I'm wrong." She opened her mouth, closed it, sat back down slowly. "It didn't mean anything," she said finally. That was it. That was her defense. I felt something crack, not explode, just split. "How long?" I asked. She rubbed her temples. "A few weeks." "How many times?" She didn't answer. I laughed then, a broken, ugly sound. "You don't get to stay silent now." "3, 4, I don't know." "Where?" I asked. She swallowed. "Hotels, his apartment, once after work." I stood up so fast my chair fell over. "Get out." "What?" she snapped, suddenly angry. "You don't get to throw me out of my own house." "I do when you cheat on me," I said. My voice was shaking now. "Go to him, go to Jake, see how that works out." She started crying then, real tears, apologies tumbling out. "I was lonely. You were always working. He listened. It just happened." I felt numb, empty. "Pack a bag," I said. "Now." She left an hour later, took her suitcase, slammed the door. The apartment is silent now, except for the rain and Milo's breathing. I don't know what happens next, but I finally know I wasn't crazy. And somehow, that hurts worse than the doubt ever did.
It's been 3 weeks since last update. 3 weeks of sleepless nights, Milo staring at the door, my own brain running in endless loops. I thought the hardest part was knowing. Turns out, the hardest part is making her face the consequences. After she left, I did the thing I should have done first. I documented everything. Every text screenshot, every suspicious email, every note she left behind. I printed them, organized them chronologically, and even made a folder labeled Evidence. Part of me felt ridiculous, like a detective obsessed with a case no one would care about. But the other part, the part that's still shaking when I hear a phone buzz, that part needed proof. Saturday night, she came back. She said she wanted to talk. I opened the door. She looked different, tired, like all the fight had left her. Her eyes darted around, avoiding mine. "I think you need to figure out the logistics," she said, voice small. "Logistics?" I asked, closing the door behind her. "You mean custody of the apartment and belongings?" "No," she said, biting her lip. "I mean, us." I gestured for her to sit. Milo padded over and sniffed her hand. She barely noticed. "I told you to leave 3 weeks ago." "I know," she whispered, "but I can explain. Please, just hear me out." "Explain what?" I asked, sliding the folder across the coffee table. "Explain sleeping with him? Explain lying to me for weeks? Or explain how you let me live in the same apartment while you were having whatever this was?" Her eyes went wide. "I didn't." "I didn't what?" I snapped. "You didn't cheat? You didn't lie? You didn't string me along like I was nothing?" She swallowed hard. I messed up, I know that, but I love you. I don't want this to be the end." I laughed bitterly. Love? Love isn't 3 weeks of secret texts, hotel meetings, and excuses. Love is telling the truth, Emily. You're done. She started crying, racking sobs that made my chest tighten. "Please, I can make it right. I'll cut contact. We can go to counseling, anything." I felt something inside me harden. "Cut contact?" I asked. "You don't get to decide that. You chose him. You chose betrayal. And now I'm deciding everything else." She froze. "I've contacted a lawyer," I continued, my voice calm but lethal. "We're starting divorce proceedings. You will vacate the apartment within 30 days. Your personal items packed. Any attempt to access my finances or accounts or interfere with my life, and I go to the police." She shook her head. "You're serious?" "Dead serious," I said. I opened my laptop and showed her an email from my attorney, confirming the filing and the temporary restraining order I requested to prevent her from returning unannounced. "I didn't think you'd actually do that," she murmured, voice trembling. "You didn't think, Emily. That's the difference." She sat there, broken, finally silent. Milo climbed onto my lap. I patted him, feeling his little body shake with worry. "You'll never hear from me again," she said, finally. "I just hope one day you can forgive me." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. The sound of the rain outside, the creak of the floorboards, and the folder full of proof on the table said everything. I went to bed that night and slept for the first time in weeks. Not peace, not happiness, but clarity. And sometimes that's the only victory you get in a betrayal like this. The hardest part is over, the messy, emotional confrontation. Now comes the slow, legal unraveling, and the satisfaction of knowing I'm taking control of my life again. This isn't over, not entirely, but I finally feel like I'm standing on my own 2 feet instead of drowning in doubt.
Time passed since last update. 6 months. 6 months since Emily last set foot in my apartment. The legal stuff dragged on longer than I expected, but it's finally over. Divorce finalized, restraining order lifted, her name off the lease, off the accounts, off my life. The last meeting with her lawyer was surreal. We were in a sterile conference room, the kind with cheap carpet that smells like disinfectant. She sat across from me, face pale, avoiding eye contact. "You understand this is final, correct?" my lawyer said firmly, placing the signed paperwork in front of her. She nodded, fingers twisting a ring she never wears. "Yes, I understand." I spoke before I could stop myself. "Do you have anything to say?" She looked at me, finally meeting my gaze. I'm sorry," she whispered, her voice cracked. "I wish I could take it back. I really do." I nodded slowly. "You can't, and I don't want apologies anymore. Just leave my life. Go live your life without me." Her shoulders slumped. "I will, I promise. I'll never bother you again." Milo barked softly, like he understood, and she smiled faintly before standing. I opened the door for her. She paused, then whispered, "Goodbye." I closed the door behind her and leaned against it. Silence. Real silence, not the tense, questioning silence from before. Peaceful silence. In these 6 months, I've rebuilt a life I thought I'd lost. Moved the furniture around, painted the walls, picked up hobbies I'd ignored. I even started dating again, slowly, cautiously. Trust doesn't come easy, but it's coming back. Sometimes I catch myself looking at my phone, expecting a text that will never come. And then I remember, I'm free. Free from lies, from betrayal, from someone who made my love feel like a trap. I still think about her sometimes, usually when Milo does something ridiculous, or I catch a whiff of perfume that reminds me of her. But those thoughts no longer hurt. They remind me of how far I've come. So, here's the truth, Reddit. Betrayal feels like the world ending, like every fiber of your being is exposed and broken. But surviving it, that's where strength comes from. That's where clarity, self-respect, and peace live. And now, I finally feel like I'm living again. Milo curled up beside me on the couch, rain tapping against the window. I smiled, scratched his ears, and whispered, "We made it, buddy. We really did." The storm has passed. The sun is finally through.